Welcome to a JGL pre-made this Friday. It's going to be me and Castcast in this first game between Joke Gaming and Basement.
Yep, and it's going to be quite an interesting game. We're just in the warm-up right now, but Joke actually has quite a few famous UK CS players from FM Esports on the team, or so it seems, which could make the game a lot more interesting to see some real, almost professional skill, or even professional skill, shown in a JGL tournament.
Indeed, hopefully at some point we will be seeing professionals coming through, especially once we get some sort of paid system set up, but for the moment it's nice to see some recognizable faces at least.
Yep, and this could be a very, very interesting match because it's the Team Basement aren't very well known, or as far as I can tell, the players aren't very well known. But it could go to show exactly what this kind of teamwork from, you know, a very big organization as FM and some very, very talented players such as TR8R. They're taking names from Star Wars, I see, and other players on the FM side. It's good to see what kind of chemistry they can get that, you know, some other pre-mades or some other mixes might not be able to get in just, you know, casual Counter-Strike.
Indeed, I think a few of the players on Basement have played in JGL events before, because I think I recognize a couple of the names, but I think you're right in the sense that they might not be as known in the UK scene at large.
So yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting game. Almost all the players are in. Basement has one player missing, but once they're in, we'll get straight on with the game, I'm assuming.
And what other map to start it off but Cash?
You know, a JGL favorite, of course. You never end with Cash.
Oh, of course, Cash every day, man. Every Friday, every Saturday, at least 3 Cash matches are played.
Yep, and well, it's well known for the reason it's Dust 2.0. It's actually a very, very popular, well-known map. Although kind of being less often seen in the pro scene, it's still very, very common in matchmaking, and you know, even in tournaments, it's still quite popular.
Yeah, no, I'd say it's definitely one of those maps that the lower tier or slightly less practiced teams can get to grips with a lot easier, just due to the fact that most people who play the game should have at least a basic understanding of the angles and smokes and positions you can play on it. Yeah,
and with the map pool, as like the FM players might have, this is probably one they have practiced quite a bit, just, you know, purely because it is such a well-played map in, you know, semi-professional to professional Counter-Strike, so it could be well known to them. They could have some very interesting smoke setups we can analyze on here, but it seems like one of the players has PC problems right now, so we'll hopefully hop into the game very, very shortly. But
indeed, hopefully we can do without many delays this week, because I don't think anybody wants it to end quite as late as it did last time.
Yeah, I was watching that one. It was it was interesting to see how long it went on for, but good game at the end. Really good playing. It's going to be really interesting to see what kind of quality we can get from this tournament this week.
Indeed, like, brilliant play, I think, from both teams in the finals last time, and I'm not sure if many people here watched, but we did actually have a show match midweek, I think on Tuesday this week, between Uprise and Clarted, obviously won by Uprise 2-0 in a best of 3. Both teams in the tournament tonight, so if they can get to the finals, we could be seeing either a repeat or something a little more interesting coming out of that match.
Yeah, it could be very, very interesting. Especially, Uprise have already made it into the JGL League that's going to be going on in April, have they not? Because they won last week, I think.
Yeah, Uprise and Clarted both have spots due to them winning in consecutive weeks. Clarted winning the week before last, Uprise winning last week.
Yeah, so that could be very interesting. I'm not sure if they're competing in this tournament because I didn't get to look at all the brackets before we got into this game. But if they're competing in it, we're going to be able to see if the champions of JGL or the champions of last week's JGL Uprise are going to be able to be taken down by maybe some more experienced or more organized opposition.
Well, I mean, at this point, with all the newcomers we get, and I think we do get new teams week on week at this point, I don't think many people are going to hold the top spot for too long.
Yeah, it's very competitive, JGL. You get a lot of different teams coming in and out just to, you know, prove their skill, prove their ability. So it'll be very interesting to see what we have this week. It's completely you can't predict what's going to happen exactly. Maybe some unknown teams are going to prove their worth. Maybe some teams known already in JGL are going to come out once again and prove the fact that the reason why, you know, they've won, they've come second, they've come third, etc.
Indeed, I think for a clarification on the rules, if a team that has already won and been invited to our league wins in this week or in any following week, I think it is the second place or the next lowest place without an invite to the league already who gets invited.
Yep, and I'm just going to pause from the backstory right here. It seems like the match was cancelled because of how Faceit works, because one of the players wasn't able to connect within the match pause time, so we're going to have to try and figure that out and sort that out very shortly. Alright.
Well, it looks like we might actually be going to a different match at this point. Just simply due to the fact that that one can't start right now, I think due to PC problems on one of the players' parts.
Yep, so it's a bit of a shame we're not going to be able to see the first game from those FM Esports guys, but you know, we'll be able to see some other talent that might go up against them in future games.
It does look like we're going to be jumping into, I think that's rflx.es versus rflx.es versus rflx.UK.
Yep. Disconnect. Yep. So sorry for the slight delay. That was just problems with the warm-up and people unable to connect to the game, which is overall quite a depressing feat. We could have had a very interesting game of Counter-Strike, but the game's already started. I'm not sure. Yep, round 6 already. Rod, are you in?
I am in. We're going to be on cash, round 6. Ts do have the bomb planted, 3 of them left alive versus 2 CTs, and I think the CTs are just saving to hold on to their guns.
Yeah, and it's already, although we can't analyze the first five rounds, of course, it seems like it's been quite dominant from the CTs, as you'd expect from them most likely winning the pistol round, and then the last 2 rounds have been won by our rflx Esports. So it looks like the T side could be bringing it back, especially with the money the CTs have right now. This could end up being pretty dominant from the T side right now.
Yeah, looking to get a bit of a run going on rflx.UK here, our rflx.es, just purely due to the fact they have very, very little money.
Yeah, and a few of the players on both teams already, as we can see, have already grabbed quite a few frags, so they're going to be the people, hopefully, that we can look out for and make sure they see some excellent Counter-Strike from them already. Messiah flex on 10 kills, 5 deaths. But anyway, jumping straight into the game, Banter gets an off kill on DH Murray over on the A side.
Looks like he's going for the frag on Messiah there in Squeaky. I think just going to whiff his shot ever so slightly, putting him out of it. Well, not putting him out of it for the time being. The rest of the T's taking it quite slow across the map.
Yeah, they've kept the bomb in T-spawn, and it looks like they're going to wrap around to B right now, which is probably a good move, as there are actually 3 players towards the A site for the CTs and 1 player in Z connector. So this might be a good idea, but it just depends on if they can get into the site fast enough before the CTs rotate.
I mean, realistically, they're just going to be looking for favourable trades. The CT's still distracted from the plays happening around the A site. Actually going to realise it could be a B site take. They're rotating in now. Linho's going to find 1, but Messiah and Mama Pape going to find 1 each to back it up. You're going to have a 3 versus 3 as it comes into... Well, hopefully the afterplant's going to be a 3v2 after Mama Pape gets that done.
Yeah, and it was quite an easy take of the site because there was only 1 player on the site, and this 1 player came up headshot, ended up taking him out, and now the site's owned by rflx. But the real Scream has killed Messiah in checkers, so this could be a good retake right here if they can coordinate themselves properly, the CTs.
Indeed it will, and Basher's looking to take it up close and personal with the P250, putting away that AWP. Gonna find 1, but Mama Pape gonna end the real Scream. 32 HP left on Basher. It's gonna be interesting to see if he can do this. He's gonna pop around the corner, almost gets it done. 2 health left, but not able to actually find the frag.
And that's an exceptionally important 2 health. Even if he just got lit by a little bit of a nade, that round would have been lost, and the CTs wouldn't have to eco this round. But because of that single frag there, and that's 2 HP, this is most likely going to be next few rounds 1 for rflx, as the CTs are going to have to eco.
I mean, it's definitely looking like the game is going to end up tied at the moment on 4-4 unless the CTs can pull off something crazy. Linho looking to do just that, rushing through the smoke, finding 1, almost taking down a second. Just missing it. Archer going to find Messiah though, put it into a 3 versus 4 in the CT's favor at this point.
Yeah,
and he's going to continue to push.
Yeah, and the CTs are wrapped around these guys stuck in garage. rflx have got nowhere to go. The CTs are surrounding them at this point, and it really looks like this was a turnaround round. The CTs weren't ready for this kind of push. We'll have to see what happens here. Just on the other side. It's Mama Pidge gets a frag on Archer Ace and might be able to make their way out.
The real Scream's going to go down as well. That's both guns now lost on the CT side, and the man advantage lost hard as Chewy drops to Tusk there. The round's back in the T's hands now, but they will be going towards that B site, and that's exactly where Bash is going to be playing. Just waiting for that crossover, seeing if he can get a couple of shots on, and he's going to light paint, but it does not look good for him at this point. No armor and a USPS. Definitely not favorable.
Yeah, and as you can see, the bomb's actually rotating away from A because they know where that last player is, but Mama Pate actually ends up killing him. But just as a precaution, they were moving that bomb towards A just in case he died.
The good play coming out from the T's there. We are, I think, going to see, I think, our first full gun round, or maybe our second at this point, coming out now, as the scores are tied up 4-4.
Yeah, and this is going to be a very big deciding round to see who actually ends up taking the leads and maybe even dominating the game further on. We'll have to see how the round plays out overall.
I mean, the T's already on 4 rounds. Basher not looking to let them get the 5th just yet, as he finds 2 out in mid. If he can find another, this will be great. It does look like he's going to be falling back, as will the terrorists at this point, though. Really not wanting to give too much away this early.
Yeah, and Archer Ace is pushed into A main where JK is waiting for him, so we'll have to end up seeing if this sort of fight goes on, because this could end up making it back into a 2v5 or a 3v4, which could completely turn around if they can open up the A side.
Actually, a couple of dunk nades coming in there, landing Mama. I think that might actually be Mama Pape down to 15 HP without even seeing a CT. That's got a sting for him, and might well end up impacting the rest of their game, as it does look like the bomb's going to be going towards that B site at the moment.
Yeah, and JK's waiting, trying to get the pick mid. He misses the shot on Highway, which is a real big problem because it means that the full CT force is still alive and they can really defend this B site. As JK does end up getting the upshot on Basher, but the real Scream ends up getting the frag on Mama Pate, and now it's a 2v4. The players are rotating from Highway to mid, and it looks like it's going to be a very, very difficult take from the T's here.
Indeed it does, especially as Linho finds one. Just Jakey left with that ult now, and he might be reconsidering falling back towards mid. Archer's not going to be ready for him, but still going to find the frag, and that's going to be him going down and not going straight into the CT's hands.
Yeah, and that could make the rest of this game a lot more interesting, as a lot of the players on Reflex can't actually buy, but let's see if they can force it up here. They will be able to drop each other and get full armor, but their nades are a bit scant, so we'll have to wait and see how they end up playing this round. This will be the last buy they have before they have to eco at least once.
I mean, you might think some of them would have sacrificed that head armor to go for a little bit more in the nade department, but maybe not quite confident that enough AKs are picked up yet. Doesn't matter though. Mama Pate finding one. Chewy finding 2 all body shots. Head armor not coming into it right now. Apart from on the T side, obviously those AKs not needing it. It's going to be 3-3, but the T's heavily tagged. 7 and 5 on 2 of their players, and Messiah looking to lose a little bit more health. Make that all of it. Archrace picking him up now. The T's with everything to do and really not much to use.
But DH Murray here with the flank on Highway. He's been spotted though. He's got 4 injured and he ends up being killed from Z connectors. That was good coordination from rflx.UK. Murray was unable to actually make anything of that play, but he could have been a very key factor in that round for opening up the A side.
I mean, realistically, I think it's the fact that the couple of T's that went down did so without really putting up any fight there. And as such, the only people left alive were the people who'd taken that fight and got kills, leaving them very low afterwards.
Yep, and that just leads into making them lose a round, and they will have to eco rush B with the 1 bomb going towards A. It's kind of a fake scenario here as they push onto the site, and they actually get a frag on Linho. The real Scream sprays down 2, almost sprays down 3, but will he be picked up? And he does. So the B site's taken, and it will cause an almost complete rotate, except for 1 on Highway. The A site should be open for Tusk to push straight onto the A site and plant.
And it does look like Tusk's going to get that plant, braving the molly a little bit, not losing too much health there. Not, I don't think, looking to win the round, as he does only have a Glock, but definitely looking to pick up, well, the money for the bomb plant plus any frags he can find in the aftermath.
Yeah, miracles can happen though, so we'll have to end up seeing. He is in a very tight angle, which is good for the block from Mercy. He comes around the corner, does get a headshot on Archer Ace, but he's just taken down due to that head armor.
Indeed, he is. That's going to put it into 7-4 for rflx.UK, taking the lead back a little bit after the T's got that 4-round run-in at the beginning.
Yeah, now they have quite a good economy. It should be good for the next few rounds, and hopefully if they can build off of this round, which is going to be a buy from both sides, if they win this, they should be okay for the rest of the match money-wise. So we'll have to see how this round ends up. They do have an off on JK Wonderchild this round, and it looks like he's might be going for a boost play. So it'll be interesting to see how Basher goes up against JK Armor.
We're actually going to get pulled away from that slightly, but we're back to it. Basher spotting one out there. He's going to find him. DH Murray drops in mid through the smoke. He's going to be wondering what was going on.
Yeah, and it looks like Basher might be able to just pick up JK, but he actually doesn't see him, so... But there's been noise on the A side, and it looks like he's trying to make sure the mid doesn't get locked down, so JK isn't getting the chance to get the frag on Basher on Highway, who's now going into CT to defend the B site, which is being pushed.
Well, the bomb is going to be pushed towards that B site. Only the real screen there, and he was low, gets dropped by Mama Pape. And that's going to leave it in a 3 versus 3 with the bomb down. If they can get these after plants, they should be golden at this point. Reflex looking to pick up their 5th round, and it's going to be looking even better as Jakey finds one. Chewy managing to find Mama Pape through a box there. Jakey's going to have to rotate, and if he can hit a shot here, it will be wonderful.
It is planted for JK at the back of the site, and Chewy has to smoke out, so he doesn't even ready for the push from Tusk, and Tusk ends up killing both of them.
Yeah, Jakey not having to do anything in the end after all, actually, as Tusk does manage to find both on site. Maybe a slight misplay from the CTs, or just exceptional play from him.
Yeah, and this could be a slight comeback, because if this round is lost for the CTs, this could mean they're really, really low on money. And they don't have an op this round, so this will be much more difficult to defend mid if the T's decide to push it.
Indeed, it all comes down, I think, to whether the T's have that economic management in the bag. Archer is going to find one regardless though, and the real Scream also getting a kill early in the round. Tusk only managing to find one in reply, going to leave Reflex at a loss here.
Yeah, but Basher's actually been boosted up into, he's out mid it seems, and he's very close. Most of the T players are around Garage, so he should be able to sneak in and maybe possibly get a few frags, but it looks like they're aware of his presence.
I think they heard him dropping down, yeah.
Yeah, and they aren't able to get a frag on him, so that's good, good perception from Reflex, and it looks like they're going to be heading towards the A side, but we can't be sure yet because they're just sitting in Garage.
Well, I mean, they are just waiting at the moment, seeing if they can figure out how the CTs are trying to play it. Maybe watching for rotations or listening for any rotations they can hear, trying to catch somebody off guard. But it does look like they're going to be heading towards that A site where Archrace is waiting for them. If he can find a couple of frags here, the CTs are in very good stead. Finds one, takes Murray down to 19, but runs out of bullets, getting picked up by Jakey. Gonna have Chewy on the site, but he's gonna drop as well. Now it's a 2 versus 1, and it's looking abysmal for Linho.
Yep, and he's still flashed here, but one of the players is very, very lit. That would be Murray, who's pushing back into A main, as I think the plan is for A main. Yes, it is. So this should be a very, very easy hold for JK, especially if he just peeks here and gets the frag. But it looks like Linto's trying to be quiet, trying to make sure he's not spotted. He doesn't get the frag on Murray, and that's the end of the round.
I mean, Linho obviously noticing where the bomb was planted, and as a result, pre-aiming A main just not quite fast enough in that circumstance. And actually, that's going to drop the CTs onto an eco or force buy here.
Yeah, which is a complete turnaround to a few rounds ago, where a few of them had 8k, 9k, and it looked like they were going to be set for most of the game if they just won a few more rounds. But yeah, they're going to be forced on an eco, but of course they did make something pretty good out of eco a few rounds ago, where they got 2, 3 frags and some weapons from it, so we'll have to see what they do.
They're actually going to go for the mid-rush there, leaving both sides completely open. And that might be to their benefit as the T's haven't taken the bomb with them. They've got players at either site, but no bomb at all. But the CTs are going to continue their rush, getting picked up quickly as they do. DH Murray and Jakey finding one each, but Chewy's going to get one back. The CT's really trying to make something happen here, and Archrace is going to contribute, finding one of his own before he gets dropped.
Yeah, and the one player with armor, Chewy on the CT side, actually has the AK, so let's see if he can make anything of this. But the T's are already in A site at quad and MZ connector, so it looks like he's going to be flanked and killed here. Yes, he is, so it's all left up to the real Scream and B connector, and it looks like the A site's open for Reflex just to get the plant easily and most likely win a round.
I mean, you just wish they knew that the bomb was where it was. They would have probably went and tried to stop it, but the bomb's actually going to get planted for the real Scream. He's going to find one, going to go for that second, but not able to pick it up. Mama Pape taking him down and tying the score at 7-all.
Yeah, it looked like he just got a bit panicked there, didn't know where the last few players were. He could have played that a bit more slowly. The time was slowly running out, so the pressure would have been on the T's, but he ended up pushing it and getting fragged. So, interesting end to the round, and it looks like this is going to be a full buy from the CTs, which will be very interesting. Although, actually, Chewy has to buy for mass and no nades, so...
The nades looking very weak. They're going to have one smoke for A main, but none for anywhere else. It leaves the map very, very open to T pushes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of emphasis towards B and B and mid for the CTs this round, which makes it seem like they're expecting a B push of sorts, but it looks like the bomb's actually waiting outside of the area and sort of 4 of the T's, so we'll have to see if the T's can capitalize on this. As Archerace actually gets a frag on Tuscan Garden, Mama Papa is lit to 32 in Garden as well, so the real Scream's really tearing them up right here.
I mean, honestly, the CT's been playing this aggressive style all game, and it's paying off for them, as shown by Linho finding a kill there. The T's should be prepared for it by this point, though.
They should, but it seems like they're just completely unaware of the prospect that there could be a CT, you know, in checkers, in a position where you would usually be. But as the team push on some bombs, and there's no flash. But it looks like JGL Wondershot's going to be the last one left with the bomb stuck on the site as the frags go back and forth. He misses his shot and gets taken down. So the CTs end up ahead, almost like, ahead 8-7 on the first half.
I mean, realistically, you say ahead 8-7, but that's not a great scoreline for a CT side on Cash. Obviously, I think more looking towards that 9-6 range. 8-7, not too uncommon, but still not what they might have been originally going for.
Yep, but we'll just have to see if they can pull something out on the T side here. They've bought some very interesting weapons. 2 flashes, a flash and a smoke on 2 of the players, and 3 players with Kevlar, so looks like they're going to be trying to do some sort of setup here to try and secure the round. Last tournament I was casting was actually a scrim, so you didn't see this kind of strategy come out, but it looks like they're going to be doing some sort of A push with lots of smokes and flashes, and it's coming in now. See if they can get any frags off of it. Scrim's just going to try and flash, but there's one player highway. JK actually kills Linho at yellow, but they are on the site, and it looks like the CTs are going to try and go for a retake.
You're going to see Murray playing up close and personal as he pushes into Forklift. Basher looking to find one, goes for the second, but gets taken down, unfortunately, due to his low health at the hands of a teammate. And now it's going to be a 4 versus 3 as the CTs barrel onto the site. They find one. They should know both are in quad, and it looks like they do, as they're going to pick up both of them very quickly. Chewy managing to find a consolation frag, but really nothing much. Jakey doing huge work that round, actually.
Yeah, it was. It looked like the T's had the entire site and would be able to hold it down, but all the players died at yellow, leaving most of the T players left on site and at Upsilon, which meant that the defense was only coming from really one position, which the CTs could just surround and take down. So that allowed them to get around.
Indeed, and I think we're just going to see the CTs going for as strong a buy as they can muster here. 3 FAMASs coming out straight up. A P90 as well. Not really looking to save up that bank. More for the pure aggression. Might end up biting them though. The T's are going for a very quick rush, and this, well, the close range weapons obviously just not picked up on that CT side.
Yeah, and it looks like Mama Pip's going to have to defend his site as Basher with the bomb is in pit, but it looks like he's going to get yet another frag. He's quite unable to. He kills Basher, he kills Linho, and he's just the real Scream left, who Murray ends up killing. So that was a good try to push towards the B site, but they ended up not being able to get past the 1 player on the site.
I mean, honestly, taking 2 guns out of their hands, still not great economically for the CTs, especially as they did go for those expensive buys on the rifles, and it does look like the T's going to be able to buy up second round here with 4 AKs, so it'll be interesting to see how they make this work.
Yeah, due to how the economy works, because they got the bomb plant on that first round, they were able to save all their money on the second by AKs, which teams on the CT that are looking to eco or to anti-eco aren't expecting it. But Jakey actually kills Scream at car with an op, and Messiah also gets a frag on Archer A, so it looks like their plan to push on the A side for Wreck is not going to go very fruitfully.
And Tusk's going to be in the perfect position. I think he's spotted all of them at this point, and he should be giving the information to his team. Jakey's going to find one, takes him down with the AWP, and it's just Chewy left. And I think they know where he is at this point. He did just find Murray, so they do, and Tusk's gonna finish him, losing 1 player that round and taking 4 AKs out of the T's hands, putting them right back on an eco.
So yeah, it was a smart play, but they ended up just losing the opening frags and going 3 on 5, and that meant that they had to kind of not very confidently push into that A site and end up losing players, just getting picked until it was a 2 on 5, and then they just lost a round quite easily due to not having enough force to defend it.
Indeed, and we're just going to see some more quick tactics come out as Linho goes for the rush down mid, getting tagged heavily by the nade before Tusk shuts him down. And we're going to see Basher going for something similar, pushing into that A-main with a Glock. Just barely dodging the AWP shot coming out from Jakey as he was playing very aggressive. It does look like the bomb's going to still be heading towards A though on Basher through that squeaky area, and it'll be interesting to see what the T's think they can do on such a heavily defended site.
Yeah, and the CTs must have gotten some sort of tip that the bomb's going towards the A site, because there are literally no players on B right now. It might have been the wraparound from the CTs on B site, but the Ts were really penned in here, and they only have one choice to kind of just hard push onto the A site, which it looks like is going to be very difficult with their Glocks. No nades and no armor.
I mean, they've got to push one way or the other, and neither's looking particularly comfortable at this point. I think two CTs, one side, three CTs the other. Take your pick. It does look like it's going to be the A site after all. All T's barreling out. Jakey and Mum are going to find one each, and it's just Chewy left now. And he's going to find himself boxed in. Also going down. Clean round from the CTs, and just beautiful play there. The aggression coming out perfectly.
Yeah, they set up really great crossfires on both in the T spawn and on A site, which just completely disabled the T's from being able to get any frags at all. And they ended up losing no weapons that round, so they end up having quite a lot of money this round for all of the players, all about 5k, so they should be able to get ahead economically here and buy up for the next few rounds.
Well, I mean, hopefully if the T's don't manage to get one back soon, it does look like they will be in a bit of a sticky situation. But I think we've seen a pause called here as Archer 8 has disconnected, or at least is frozen, I think.
I don't think he can move. I think his keyboard must have broken or something. He was just sitting still, but he was still kind of twirling around. I'm not quite sure why, but maybe just a keyboard malfunction.
Potentially that. What do you think rflx.UK can do at this point to start turning it around on their T side?
Well, honestly, there's not much emphasis being put on mid, on both sides actually. There's just ops and just a few rifles every now. Sometimes they put some pressure on from the CT side, but if they could try and take mid, they could really get a kind of good control and good estate over the map, which could lead to them going B, they could go A, and if they already have those opening frags and the man advantage, it leaves the CTs in a very uncomfortable position. So trying to get hold of that mid, maybe just with a pure rush, a surprise rush through the smoke with a few flashes, that kind of thing would maybe take them off guard and make them win a few rounds, which would then put the CTs on eco and hopefully get them back into the game.
That sounds about right. Mid-presence obviously one of the more important things to have on Cash, and Rekt really not putting too much emphasis into it at the moment. Archer Ace are going to be able to buy up, but still just sitting in spawn. So not looking great for the T's right now, especially as they're on a buy round. This could go horribly. And DH Mori going to push straight through mid, actually, completely ignoring the smoke in place. Going to meet Basher soon. Basher with the better spray control will take him down, putting it into a 5 versus 4 almost immediately. If Archer Ace can get in the game, I think what you said about taking that advantage and running with it might come true.
Yeah, it's actually his ping that's his problem right now, but he is in the game, he's just unable to do anything at all, but they have taken the mid control, as you can see, and they end up getting the frag on it, so they do have the man advantage, and it's going to be very difficult for the CTs to rotate to A or to B, but the off on A in the hand of Jakey is able to kill Chewy, but he doesn't know just how much force is in this mid area.
He doesn't, but he will be watching it. I think just confident nobody else is coming A, or at least confident he does not have to watch it at the moment, and he's going to turn his attention back to it as Mama Pape goes and checks out the mid area, not spotting any of the T's at all, as it does look like they're going to be playing more towards that B site at the moment. The bomb and a couple of others. Messiah going to find one, and the rotate I think is actually already being called. Mama Pape spamming through checkers and rotating in now. Not looking great for the T's, as they will be caught out before they start, and that'll be one going down in Basher. They have to try and get something back here, and they will. Linho finding Messiah. It's just going to be about getting that bomb down and taking the afterplan.
Yeah, and it's now a 1v2, but Linto could make this into a 1v1 if he tries to push the player, but he doesn't have much time. It was strange because Jakey took quite a long time to get off of that A site, even after the bomb was spotted. But now he's in position to retake. As Linto sprays through Mama Page through the box, and it's just Jakey versus Linto. Now Linto is very limited, doesn't matter very much as Jakey had the op, but he's changed it out to the AK.
Now it does look like it's going to be important. Jakey actually almost going down. 5 health remaining. But gonna find the frag regardless. Giving rflx yet another round and putting them up to 12-8.
Yep, and they've won every single round on the CT side, truly showing their dominance, but it also allows the T's to be able to buy up once again, which they're going to do.
I mean, honestly, I just feel a bit sorry for the T's at this point. Archer actually looking to be able to get back into this round, so maybe we'll see them pick up a couple more now.
And in that round, they put a lot of emphasis on the mids. They got the mids, and they made the CTs have to rotate all the way through their spawn to try and get anywhere. But they left it. They just left the control. They gave it back to the CTs, and then they had to take the long way around. But it looks like once again they're going to be trying to take this mid control as Chewy and Archer Race push up mid, trying to kill Murray in the sandbags. But little do they know, Tusk is actually at Sugar Cube right now. He gets a frag.
Yeah, I was going to say, and as Murray goes down, Tusk does find his killer in Archer. First round he's back and he goes out of the... Well, he drops out of contention almost immediately. The rest of the team's barreling in, trying to see if they can find anything. But Tusk running away just in time. He is, however, going to have to contend with a couple on site now. I think he finds Basher in mid, but the site is lost for the effort. And it's going to be the T's with that A site now, and probably after plant positions coming in.
Yeah, and it's Mama Page and Chewy having a fight on highway, but Mama Page actually ends up winning it. It looks like it's going to be a pincers. There's one player coming from A main Messiah here, getting taken out by the real scream. Mama Page on Kevin gets taken down by Linto, and it's just JK on site versus the real scream. Little does he know where he is. He thinks he's yellow. He spots the player. It's a 1v1 with the off. He doesn't have much time, but he does have a kit. He spots the player. He ends up getting the frag, and that's going to be yet another round 1 for Reflex here.
I mean, honestly, these rounds coming close, and the T's getting those plants, which are going to allow them to keep on buying up. And the CT's economy going to be slowly building, but maybe not as fast as they want. A couple of players, actually, Mama Pape only on 4,000, so going to take a bit of bank off one of his teammates to get him that rifle.
Yeah, 2 of the players on very, very low money, but they do have the Bank of Germany, JK Jonderchild right here with 12k, so he will be able to bail out some needing friends.
Indeed he will. JK just going to be going for that passive AWP hold on A main, and it looks like it might pay off. The real scream peeking a little too wide there. Not being found with the first one, but getting ballsy and going back for more. Ends up being tagged down to 17 health. He will actually find JK though with the Molotov before Tusk can find his friend. And it's just going to be a full-on push of the A site now. All 4 coming out of main. Linho actually finding Pape as he takes the peek, both losing health, both I think getting a headshot, but obviously that AK just going to be worth a little bit more. Tusk dropping as well, and the CTs maybe going to lose their first round on CT here.
Yeah, it looks like a pinch move again as Misai is able to kill the player going towards 8 main, so they don't yet know that Murray's in here, but he ends up being taken down by Chewy, and it's just up to Misai now, who would be wise to possibly try and save, but he dies to Chewy on Upsilon. So that's the first round for rflx.UK, and hopefully we'll be able to see a little bit more kind of confidence coming out of them, because they've seen it a bit shaky, not sure where to go, which site to push, but they may be able to do something good here.
Well, I mean, this should definitely boost their confidence. Taken around in that fashion, especially some of the shots that I think it was Chewy was hitting there, should make them feel slightly better about themselves, or at least slightly more confident in their shooting abilities, if not their positional tactics. And especially having that 5th player back in the game will help out a lot, but it might all be lost. Murray gonna actually spot Chewy, over boost there, not able to find that many shots, only taking him down to 31. Still gonna put a damper on things though.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be a very, very strong push towards this A site from the T's as everything is smoked out, but there are 3 CTs and 1 more on highway just waiting to try and get into the site. The T's haven't quite pushed through the smoke just yet, they're not quite into the site, but Murray is able to kill Chewy and Linto as Spawn is now dropped on site and the T players are stuck. They're being closed down, there's crossfires all around the entire site, but it's very good play.
Just Archer left now though, and he gives his position away, picking up Mama. Going to be looking to see if he can find any more, but not going to be expecting Tusk to be where he is. Almost gets dropped, but manages to find the frag before going down to Murray. And that is going to hurt. Once again, the T's being smashed back into place and losing much of their economy in the process.
Yeah, they looked a bit too underconfident pushing into that site. They saw the smokes, they laid themselves, and they couldn't splash, they couldn't push through them. They ended up slowly getting whittled down one after another. So it just seemed like a lack of confidence or a lack of ability to be able to, you know, just entry fact, to push in first, to push in on your own. So this is going to put them in a bad situation this round.
It does look like the T's going to be going for it all now, though, not wanting to force it into that overtime. You're going to see a very broken buy come out, and it's going to be broken, well, more broken now, with Murray and Messiah finding 1 apiece very early on. Going to be 3 T's left to try and get everything done.
Yeah, and that AK was dropped in mid, which is one of the most powerful weapons for the T's right now, so it looks like they're going to be in a very, very difficult situation as Basher is actually seen by Messiah, and he's tagged down. So there are 3 players towards the B side ready for this push for the CTs, and DH Murray is able to take down 1, but he runs out of bullets. Messiah is taken down by Basher actually, and Basher kills Murray as well with the Tech 9, so now it's just Mama Page on this site as the T's push in. This is the kind of entry fragging you needed in that round before.
Actually, Mama Pape gonna hold the site, finding both headshots there. So unexpected. I mean, I was expecting maybe a 1-for-1 trade, but ending it on 4 HP with those 2 headshots, that's quite impressive.
Yeah, and now Rex, not really thinking about their economy. Last round they bought up, and it's going to be very, very bad for the last round here, as they only have Tech 9's Deagle armor, some nades, so they're going to have to do some sort of clever strategy, clever rush to try and beat the CTs in strategy, not just aim and not just weapons.
I was gonna say clever strategy when you got Tech 9s. I've not heard of such a thing. They are just gonna be rushing that B site and getting mowed down as they do. 3 going down, but you might as well have 4 as Chewy's dropped very low. Archer gonna be downed next, and it's just Chewy with everything to do. A Deagle and 1 health.
Hey, miracles can happen always, especially in Counter-Strike. So we'll see if he can do. Hopefully, can do something crazy. It would be an insane highlight to see if he got 5 headshot ace, but seems unlikely at this point.
5 headshot ace with 1 health would be beautiful, but it's not gonna happen as Jakey is gonna finish the game with a wallbang headshot. I'm just gonna have to settle for that one.
Yeah, and it was quite interesting game overall, although towards the end, it seemed like they listened to my advice a bit too much. They started pushing a bit too aggressive, as you saw Archer Ace pushed through CT spawn on B there, instead of trying to get onto the site and plant. That might be due to his high ping, which we cannot account for, sadly, in these sort of tournaments.
Maybe just some next level strats coming out there.
Gonna loop around all the way to the A site from mid. Great idea. Or from B.
You never know. You never know. Next level strats can take any form.
Yep.
Anyway, as that match finishes, we are actually going to have results from a few coming in. We're going to have Joke winning against Basement. That match actually starting. Carl's Autists winning against Nerve. I think Uprise's game is still on, but Perception is going to have one against GLRF. And Swag1 is going to win against FNCCS.
Yep. So, who are we going to be seeing next? That's a real question we've got to ask ourselves here. Well, all the games haven't been finished, of course, my mistake, so we'll have to wait until all those games are finished to see who is ready first, or who's going to be the most interesting match to watch.
I think we might have to indeed. I think we are going to be going to break now, so...
Yep, it's been a pleasure casting with you, man.
Yeah, no, it's nice to have a fresh face on the team, especially for the pre-mades.
Yep. Good. A very interesting match as well. Very interesting to see how the CTs could really, how Reflex could kind of just turn down that match. They had a good chance at the start, and now they really showed it in this next second half when they got CT side. So, very interesting match to watch. We'll see how they go up against Joke next in the quarterfinals.
Indeed.